Valdis's presentation there. The first is that Valdis said that technical differences erode quickly. And what he was referring to there was to us IT vendors and our technical advantage over our competitors. But I'd suggest to you that your technical advantage erodes quickly over your competitors as well. And it's therefore really, really important for you to be, as a leader, to deliver the services that keep your business in front of your competitors. So I think there's an interesting point there and an interesting slant on it. And the second point, again, on that phrase that Valdis used, technical differences erode quickly. Valdis was actually one of the authors of a paper that Gartner produced very recently, about 3 weeks ago, that evaluated enterprise technology from us and our competitors, and looked at various aspects of that technology, and that was manageability, reliability, performance, snapshot and replication, scalability, how it integrates with the ecosystem, multi-tenancy and security, and storage efficiency. So evaluated all of those things across 5 different use cases. And our VSP technology came out top in all 5 use cases under those criteria. The important thing about that is our VSP technology was announced about 3 years ago. Okay, so I agree with Valdis that those technical differences do erode quickly, but I do think that we're still very much leading the pack. And today, what you'll see is that we'll take that a step further. So you've had the analyst perspective on business-defined IT. It's really important to us that you get a view from our customers. And I'd just like to introduce our first customer video now. This is Telefonica, and you'll get the theme. Thank you.
Now what we do, we've taken a step further with the global availability, with mobility, move these applications and data between data centers without any disruption. So we're just taking that to the next level, based on our tradition of delivering 100% data availability.
Thanks, Abby. You know, Tony, you have a vast amount of experience talking to customers not only in the Middle East, but all the way down to South Africa, up to the UK. Just want to give us some examples of the type of scenarios that you've seen and how they relate to what we've heard this morning.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Aaron. And I have to say to everybody out in the audience, this is a bit like being in a schoolroom waiting for the teacher to ask you a question. and as it gets closer and closer, you kind of dread it, because we had no idea what questions Aaron was going to ask us, so it's kind of interesting. So let me come back to something that Andy said earlier on. We've seen right across not just our emerging markets, but right across EMEA and globally, I think, more IT departments having to provide some kind of self-service capability to the business. And I think the reason for that is that, as we've spoken about already today, business needs to be ahead of the pack, needs to be ahead of the competition. That probably means developing new products that you can take to market, new services that you can deliver to your customers. And the business IT folks need to be able to develop and test those new products and applications very quickly. So we've seen a lot of customers deploying some kind of self-service capability. Let's call that private cloud. One of the interesting things for me is that in order to make that productive and a reality, the platform that sits underneath that and enables that private cloud to work needs to be available and performant, as we've spoken about already. But the reason for that is now your workload has become increasingly unpredictable. You know, Andy and I remember when we used to do capacity planning. That doesn't happen anymore. So you're faced with increasingly unpredictable workload. Therefore, the platform that you run on has to be available, of course, but it has to be extremely performant, has to be flexible, has to be manageable. You need to be able to move workloads from one place to another so that you can cope with that unpredictability. And for me, that's one of the key things that's emerging out in the market. But fundamentally, it's just because business needs it.